Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another episode of Combined World in Flames Days of Decision 3. We will be starting with the January-February 1937 turn. Let's dive right in. Starting money for the major powers looks something like this. We have Germany at 0, Japan at 4, Italy at 6, the USSR at 1, Commonwealth at 1, France at 1, the USA at -1, and China at 1. The major powers have all put their bids in for their political options. Let's take a look at what we got for bids. Okay, we have 5 major powers bidding for this round. The Italians bid 1. They get 6 bonus bid points from last turn, because that was the option they used, was bonus bid points, and they're in position number 2, which gives them a 3, so that's a total of 10. They're going to be first. Japan also bid 1. They have 4 bonus bid points from last turn, and they're in position 2. That gives them 3 for their last turn's initiative position, so that gives them a total of 8. That's going to put them in number 2. The Commonwealth bid 3 points. They're in position 6, which is going to give them a +1, which comes out to be 4. It's going to put them in 3rd place. Germany also bid 1. Why not? They're in 4th place. That gives them a +2, which gives them 3. France also bid 1. They're in 5th place. Gives them a +2, which is also a 3. And in the case of a tie, break it according to the political effectiveness. The French political effectiveness is 3, and the German is 5. So the German marker will be 4th. The French will be 5th. Of the non-bidding major powers, we have the US in the 1st position with a +4. That's going to put them down in 6. And let's put the last card markers out. The French will be last if we get to them. The USSR is 7th with a +1. And that'll put them in 7th position. And China will be in 8th. Something that the Chinese are in a lot. It's the last position because they don't bid very often for political options. So the political initiative is set, and let's start right off with the Italians. Italy is going to select Italian option 3. Italian option 2. Gear up. The prerequisites are this option can only be played if A, you are a fascist, which they are, so make it there, or the current year is greater than or equal to the year specified on a production multiple track, or the Commonwealth, France, or Germany's PLM is above yours. You may not gear up to a PLM higher than your peacetime maximum, unless you're at war with another major power. There are a number of minor country effects, and U.S. entry is substantial 8. This option increases your production multiple by 1 level. Okay, the cost is going to be 7 because it's not on the year listed on my PLM track. That is less than 37. Okay, so let's just take a look at the PLM track. We can see how that works. Oops. All right, Italy. There you are. All right. So what we got here is each major power has a number of different levels for production multiple. Each production multiple is listed in the box. Italy starts at 1/3. She's going to be gearing up to 1/2 because it's 1937. So because it's 1937, the cost is going to be the standard amount. Now that the PLM track has been adjusted, Italy gets to activate a minor. And I think Italy's going to activate Yugoslavia is an option. Do have a -2 for Italy here, but we also have a +4 for the Germans. But there's also a +2 for the Commonwealth here. Bulgaria is really bad. -1 for Italy, -1 for the Soviet, but the Germans have a -6. That's not good. So I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to activate Hungary. So we'll pick up the marker. There's only one. We'll go over to the status display. We have one marker, 2 Italian points. Minor country marker for Hungary is right here. Italy is right here. Now the Italians do have a treaty with Hungary. So when the marker moves towards Italy, it's going to cost 1 less because they have a treaty with Hungary. So normally it costs 2 to go from one hex to another. There is a boundary here between dictatorship and the authoritarian zones. So that increases it by 1. So it would be 3. But like I said, Italians have a treaty which is going to reduce it by 1. So it's going to be 2 points. So the Hungarian marker will move down and stack underneath the Italian. So what that means is that since Italy has a treaty with Hungary, and the Hungarian marker is stacked with the Italian marker, if Italy goes to war with another major power, she can align Hungary and bring her into the war with her. Last up is to roll to see if we end the phase. There's the die. There it is. We rolled a 6. So we will move on to Japan. Okay. Japan also is going to gear up. The prerequisites are pretty much the same. They're fascist. It is 1937, so the cost won't be doubled. There's a number of minor country effects here. The U.S. entry is a whopping 13. And the cost for that is 9, which is not cheap. So I'll get the U.S. entry recorded and put the minor country markers out, and then Japan will activate a minor. Last up for Japan is to activate a minor. Let's take a look at what we have for possible options. Well, we have Chile. We have a +2 in Chile. We have a -1 in Venezuela, -1 in Brazil, -3. Oh, it's -1 Argentina, -3 in Venezuela. We do have 1 point in Mexico. It's not going to do a lot of good. So let's go over. Well, the Netherlands also managed to generate a -1 for us. And like that, gear up too much. Portugal as well, -2. They didn't like that gear up either. Probably has something to do with the Netherlands East Indies right here. And Portugal also has East Timor. That's Portuguese territory. They probably don't like the Japanese getting aggressive. Siam has a -2 for the Commonwealth, a -2 for the United States, and 3 points for Japan. We're going to let that build up a little bit. Excuse think we're going to do is I think we're going to activate Chile. Pick up the markers. Come on over here. Go to the status display. Here's our 2 points. I have to find the Chilean marker. Probably should have put it on top before. It's right there. There we go. Okay, we got 2 points. It's out in the neutral zone, right in the middle of the neutral zone. So basically it's going to move 1 hex closer to Japan. Let's see. It's about the same. So I think we're going to go from here to here. Last thing for Japan to do is to roll to see if they end the turn. One political option has been played, so that's a -1 to the die. A roll of 1 will end the political phase. 3, looks like we move on to the Commonwealth. Last card marker moves down. The Commonwealth is going to propose a level 2 treaty with France. Right there. That's a level 2 treaty. Your initiative position must be less than the other major powers. Commonwealth is 3, France is 5, so we meet that. If successful, apply treaty chart plus these minor effects right here. But we gotta wait. We don't pay the money. We gotta wait to see if France has an option to go. If they do, then we'll pay the 4 for the Commonwealth and apply the minor effects and then activate a minor country. So the only thing that the Commonwealth has to do is roll to see if they end the turn. That's a 5. Need a 1. 2 political options has been played, so 5 minus 2 is 3. The political phase continues. Next up is Germany. So what Germany is going to do is she's going to sign a minor economic agreement. Originally I was going to sign it with Sweden. Then I read the prerequisites for it. And to make an economic agreement, the major's initiative must be less than or equal to the minor's willpower. Well, Germany's initiative position is 4. And looking at a chart, you'll see that Sweden's willpower is 2. Oh, that's not less. So can't sign an economic agreement with Sweden. So we're going to go to plan B, and we're going to sign a minor economic agreement with Bulgaria. And Bulgaria's willpower is 5. So initiative position of 4, that's less. So we'll sign the minor economic agreement with Bulgaria to get the 1 Bulgarian resource. I'll put out the marker and then we'll be right back with activating a minor. Looking around to see which minor country Germany can activate. And kind of looking at possibly Greece. We have 2 points there. Bulgaria is looking nice with a -5. Yugoslavia, we have 4 points there, but there's an Italian -2 and a Commonwealth +2. I think we're going to do something strange, and we're going to activate Poland. So we have a German +3 in Poland, so grab the markers, come over to the status display. Here are the markers. See him? There we go. Almost. There we go. The Polish marker is right here. It's actually closest to the fascist ideology than the Democrat ideology. Now, Poland does have a treaty with Germany, and they also have a treaty with France. So it's going to make the cost going either way towards either the democracies or the fascists. It's going to increase the cost by 1. So the Soviet marker is not going to do anything. So that's going to get blown off. We have a Commonwealth plus 2. Now, costs 2 points to move 1 hex towards a Commonwealth, but it also costs an additional point for moving away from a major power that the minor is allied with, which is Germany. So it costs 3 points to go on this hex. So the Commonwealth marker is basically blown off. And we have a German plus 3. Now, to move in this hex is 2. However, they have a treaty with the French, which is going to increase the cost by 1 because we're moving away from France. I believe that is an additional hex. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So it's going to cost 3 to move in that hex, and that's exactly what the Germans have. So we're going to move Poland down towards the fascist ideology. That is definitely not making the Soviets happy. Let's roll to see if Germany ends a political phase. There has been 3 political options played. Neither one, so it's the die roll minus 3. Oh, no, just can't seem to end these political phases. Rolled a 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. Last card moves down to France. The French will have a go. And the French are going to choose to play their French option 0F. Agree to a proposal. They're going to agree to the level 2 treaty with the Commonwealth. The cost is 0 money. There's no U.S. entry effect. There's no minor effects. However, the Commonwealth will have to put out their U.S. entry for a treaty and their minor country effects, which is right there. The U.S. entry is plus 4 in addition to the treaty chart. And the minor countries, you can see all the effects right there. So there are also minor countries affected on the treaty chart. So I'm going to put all these markers out, and then we'll activate a minor, and that'll be the end of the political phase. So the last thing we get to do is activate a minor. There's a few options out there. Yugoslavia. We have 4 Commonwealth, a minus 2 Italian, and 4 German. And we also have Czechoslovakia. There's 4 German in there, but there's also 6 Commonwealth. And Poland, 2 points. We know that's not going to do anything. We have 2 points in Denmark. Could use that. I think we're going to activate Czechoslovakia. Only because if we can get Czechoslovakia stacked with either France or the Commonwealth and have a treaty with them, then if Germany gets overly aggressive and we end up in a war, we can activate Czechoslovakia, which would really put the Germans in a bind. So let's gather up the markers, go over to the status display. You can see Czechoslovakia is right next to France. Put the markers down. Okay. Okay, there we go. not quite sure. The order sometimes is important, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. But we do know that the -1 Soviet is not going to do anything, and the -1 Italian is not going to do anything. So, two we got to concern ourselves with is the German 4. Now, moving the marker towards Germany is going to cost an extra point because Czechoslovakia has a treaty with France. So it will cost 3 to get to this hex. 3, 6. Yeah. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the German marker first. So it's going to be 2 for the hex, +1 moving away from a major power that has a treaty with it, and it's also +1 moving towards Germany in another ideology. So it's going to cost 4 to move 1 hex. Right there. And that's going to use up the German marker. Now the British marker, 6 points. So it's still going to cost, 1, 2, 3. It's still going to cost an extra point for this hex. But moving towards the major power within the ideology, so it's going to be a -1. It's going to be +1 for the boundary. So that's 2. And it's going to be a +1 from moving away from a major power that can control. So it's going to be 3 to go to this hex. And then 2 to go to this hex. So Czechoslovakia ends up stacked with the Commonwealth, which actually doesn't have a treaty with Czechoslovakia. That might have been an error. Oh well, gonna screw up once in a while, I guess. And that is the end of the political phase. So I have rolled initiative already and rolled the weather. Let's take a look at that. So the initiative roll was 6 for the democracies, 4 for the communists, and 4 for the fascists. Now the democracies have a -1, so that puts them at a 5. The communists and the fascists both have a +2, so that puts them both at 6. That's a tie. Now the order last turn was that the fascists were going first and the communists were going last. So to break the tie, the fascists are allowed to go after, or allowed to pick a spot after the communists. So the fascists are going to go last, the communists are going to go second, and the Democrats are going to end up going first. The weather, we have rolled a 3, +2 from last turn is a 5. We've got storm in the Arctic and rain in North Temperate, fair everywhere else. So the impulse marker will be moving up 2. So let's take a look at what we have for reinforcements this turn. All right. So this is January, February. Put the camera down somehow here. Right there, looks good. All right. So what we got is we have British territorial will be coming on map. Okay. Going to South Africa. We have a pilot that will go on the track. This is the British 2 pilots. We have a convoy point. I don't think I have enough to do anything yet. Nope, not yet. We have a carrier air group. That is going to go in the reserve pool. We have the Ark Royal, that will be going on map. We have the Scharnhorst, that will be going on map. We have the, what am I doing? I'm doing the wrong. I'm doing the wrong thing. Alright. Alright, so we do have a territorial. That's going to go on map. We have a tanker point for the Japanese. That will be going on map. We have a, looks like a light cruiser, the Erebus. Oh, it's a heavy cruiser. I think it's a Monitor. Yeah, the Monitor Erebus to go in the construction pool. The tanker point for the Commonwealth. 2 convoy points for France and a tanker point for France. And a cav division for France. U.S. gets the Colorado on map. U.S. gets the Saratoga on map. Japanese get the Chiyoda in the construction pool. The Italians get the Aquila in the construction pool, carrier. The Germans get the Tirpitz in the construction pool. Nice battleship. And the infrastructure development is finished for the Italians. I'll get these reinforcements on the map, and then we'll pick up with the actual turn. So the democracies didn't do too much. They placed their units. I don't think they have done anything else except place units at this point. They didn't move anything. Yeah, the French moved their cav division from Lille south of Hex, and that was about it. So things are about to heat up. The Soviet Union has decided to get aggressive. They're going to declare war on Persia. I have paid the money, and I will put out the minor country effects, and the U.S. entry effect is an 8 plus the U.S. entry effect is 13 plus the war chart. So they're getting aggressive. All right, so let's see. Let's go down through the sequence of play. Let's see. We declared war. I'm going to take a combined action because can't do anything else. It's a minor country. So when you're at war with a minor country, you can only do combined actions. Let's see what we got. All right, so we're going to use the air unit. Oh, just a note, Persia's also Iran. So just a note, Persia has 2 units to start with. They have this cav corps here, and they have a militia unit, which will come on the board in their impulse. And I think Japan is the closest capital to Iran. I think actually it's... Well, the fascists are going to forego. The fascists are going to forego control. They're going to allow the Democrats to control Persia. Let them deal with it, because the Commonwealth is 5 hexes away. All the others are 5 hexes away. Let the Democrats run them. All right, so port attacks, naval air mission, naval movement, none. Strategic bombardment, no. Ground strike missions. So we're going to ground strike them with this unit here. We get 2 dice rolls for that. This will invert the unit if it's successful. The tactical factor is a 3 on that air unit. So I need a 3. This is a surprise turn, surprise impulse, so I get to roll 2 dice per ground strike. Oh, I got a 3 and a 5. So the ground strike is successful. So that will invert the unit. Put that guy back. Flip this guy over. And now let's see what we can get for an odds on the attack. We have 9, 14, 18, 20. We have 20 to 2. We have 2 combat strength. So they're in the mountains, which is doubled. So it's going to be 20 to 4, which is 5 to 1. See what the combat chart looks like here. 5 to 1. The blitz table, they're going to have a +1. I think we're going to go with the assault table. Yeah. 5 to 1 +1. Now, do the Soviets use HQ support? Got a +1. He's dead. No matter what I roll. It's just whether or not. Let's take a chance and not do HQ support. Maybe we can end this within this impulse. So we have a 5 to 1 +1. 8. 8's a pretty good roll. 8, that's going to be a 9. And a 9 on the assault table is star 2S. That means all the Soviet Union units are going to remain face up. 2 defenders killed, the rest shattered. There's only one there. So he's going to be quite dead. And now we're going to occupy the hex. Let's see. We're going to occupy with this guy. And this guy. And this guy. No. Mountain hex. This is the this is the Pacific map. I believe the terrain effects for mountain on the Pacific is 3 for leg. So that's going to flip that artillery unit. Yeah, let's leave him behind. No, we'll leave him there. He's going to flip over, but yeah, I might have to use him. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So that's it. Let's see. Land movement, air transport, debark units at sea, invasions, paratroops. Did the combat, any air rebasing? No. Reorganization? No, not going to use the headquarters to reorganize. So that is the end of the Communist Impulse. We'll move on to the Fascists. The Italians will be sending out their transport out to the Red Sea. They will embark probably the motorized headquarters, the motorized unit. We'll embark them guys. And I think they'll move an infantry corps into Asmara. I'll move the headquarters into Asmara too. It's going to flip them over, but that's okay. All right. The fascists are done. Time to roll weather. There's no modifier to the weather roll. This could end the Soviet offensive real quick if we get some really bad weather. A 4. That's not going to do it. Rain in Arctic, rain in North Temperate, fair everywhere else. The marker moves up 2. So the Persian militia unit will now come on the board. So the Democrats are done. They don't really have a whole lot to do other than placing that reserve militia unit. Now time for the communists. That's going to be a little tougher than I thought. Mountain is 3 for a leg unit, so we got 3. Oh, that's bad. That's okay. Let's see what happens. He can go there. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen this turn. So we're going to move him. It's going to flip him over because he only has 2 movement points. And it costs 3 for that hex, so I'll move this unit here and this unit here. And hopefully we get some good weather. And might have a chance to make one attack. I don't really see it happening because the headquarters is flipped over. No other way is not enough to really get an attack without flipping over the headquarters, I don't think. That's 3 points, so that's going to be 6. 4, 8, 13, 18 to 6, that's a 3 to 1. Yeah, yep. Yep, going to take a little longer than Joe Stalin thought. So that's it for the Soviet turn. Move on to the fascists. Fascists are not doing anything, but they will roll to end the turn. Incidentally, they take combined actions. Well, they could all pass. That would kind of screw the Soviets if the fascists did that. Don't really have anything to... Yeah, they're all going to pass. So there's going to be a -1 to the die roll. And this will need... 1 will end the turn. Nope. So now we move on to the Democrats. The Democrats are going to do the same thing. They need a 2. So 2 minus 1. They need a 2. So 3 or less and the turn is over. Yeah, nope. Alright, now we move on. Oh, I forgot to roll weather. I need to roll weather because it's the Democrats' impulse. Up 4. It's the same stuff. Rain, rain. Fair, 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 fair. Moves up 2. So communists go again. They're going to move this guy here and this guy here. And I think that's about going to be it for them. So they are in a position to at least make an attack next turn if the weather's good. If the weather's not good, that's not going to happen. Probably have to wait until May, June or something. Let's roll the end of the turn. Roll the 3. Nope. Now fascists are up. They're going to roll the end of the turn. 5, nope. So I'm going to run through the rest of the turn, and I don't think anything's going to happen, so I will pick up at production. Be right back. Okay, production changed slightly for this turn. The Germans produced 8, had 3, they spent 2. Japan produced 7, had 5, spent all 5. Italy produced 3 and saved in oil due to the resource they developed in Libya and their increase in their production multiple. And they pulled the Aquila out of the construction pool. The Tirpitz came out of the construction pool too, as well. The Japanese are building their SNLF core. Okay. The Soviets built an infantry corps. They produced 3, had 1, spent 3. Commonwealth is building a tanker point, a convoy point, and pulled this transport out of the construction pool for 2. Spent a total of 4. They produced 5, had started with -1, they're going to be at -5 for next turn. France produced 2, saved in oil. Because of the level 2 treaty they just signed, the British decided to give them the oil resource in British Guyana. And they stretched out a convoy pipeline to get it. They did just enough tanker points to get there. So the French built an infantry division. That cost them 2. The U.S. pulled the Yorktown out of the construction pool. They produced 3, had 2, and spent 3. And China produced 1, they have 2. They are not spending anything. So I will get these units on the wheel, and that will wrap it up for this turn. I'll get this video uploaded shortly, and the next time, probably next weekend, a week or so from now, I'll probably do another video. Thanks for watching.